Hey, how you doing? I hope you're well. Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Scents with me, Matt. Okay, lovely summer's day. It is actually quite a nice day today. And I'm wearing something that's probably not, well, it's totally not suited for summer, but I love it all the same. Anyway, today, just trying to get back on track and catch up with lots of reviews. So thank you very much for your patience. It means a lot to us, and welcome aboard all you new subscribers. Thank you for giving us some time. Well, today we're going to talk about something quite special, something I don't own, and something that I've sort of heard spoken about in hushed tones for a long time. Since this perfume's been around, it's been very divisive. People either love it or hate it. It's certainly an exciting perfume, and that instantly makes me interested, and one that I've been after trying for a very, very long time. It's called Oudh Infini, and it's from the house of Dusita. Now, Dusita came out a Parisian niche house, and the nose and the person behind the brand is a lady called Pisara Uma Vijani. Now, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, but obviously I hadn't smelt it. And now Oudh Infini, if you look on Fragrantica and places like that, it's quite notorious. You know, a lot of people either love or loathe it. As I said, it's something that I've been really intrigued to try. Now, there's very few stores that carry it. There is one in London that does have it in stock, and that's Le Centres in South London. They're not far from Victoria, if you're in the area, and I thoroughly recommend going in there. I was in there the other day, ironically after I got my samples of Dusita Oudh Infini, and I spent a very pleasant hour in there chatting perfume and got to sample lots and lots of different perfumes and stuff, and got my nose to a few things that I really wanted to try, and obviously got to sort of, you know, reconnect with some perfumes that I tried a long time ago and I was still on the fence about. So it was a real lovely experience for me, especially in the height of all this rubbish, you know, to actually finally go inside a shop and spend some time with someone who really knows their perfume, who's really interested to talk to you about it and has a real passion. So I really enjoyed my trip to the Centres, and I will certainly be back because there's a few things I need to purchase. Anyway, let's get back to Oudh Infini. The house of Dusita came out in 2016, and I think the perfume Oudh Infini also came out in 2016. They have nine different perfumes, and they're very much at the niche end of the perfume scale there. You know, they're not cheap, and the big problem for Oudh Infini for me is it's incredibly expensive. A little 50ml bottle costs £359, so it's not something realistically I'm ever going to own. You know, if money was no object, then I would buy it. I understand that, but money is object. You know, it's very objective to me. And £359 for a small 50ml bottle is never really going to happen. And because of the type of fragrance it is, it never comes up as a partial. You very rarely see anybody parting with it. When the perfume becomes that expensive for what it is, people don't tend to blind buy it, thankfully, because I mean, you know, if you're spending the best, you know, £350 on a perfume and it's a blind buy, you've either got more money than sense, or you just, you know, you're very, very wealthy and you just don't care. So, you know, for me to pick up a partial of it would be very, very difficult. You know, because people that own Oudh Infini know about Oudh Infini. So I'm wearing it at the moment. I wore it for the school run, which was probably a bit of a crazy thing to do, but you know, here we go. So let's talk a little bit about the notes. I'll spray a tiny bit more, and then Rich will get up some pictures of the bottle and stuff, because the presentation is lovely. But this isn't really about the presentation. This is about the juice. This is about, sorry, I've just said the word juice. I'm trying not to say the word juice anymore. It's all about the perfume. So let's have a look at the notes, and then I'll try and describe it as best I can, because it's an intriguing perfume, and give you as much information as I can about it. Because it is quite unique. So the top notes are Laotian Oud, and then you have Rose de Mai, then you have Tunisian Orange Blossom, and then in the middle you have benzoin, you have sandalwood, and on the base you have Madagascar vanilla, you have musk, and you have civet. Now, when you've got oud and civet in a fragrance that's an unabashed adventure in oud, you know it's not going to be for everyone. This is definitely a polarising fragrance, but it's nowhere near as polarising as I expected it to be. If I'll show you what the liquid looks like, because I bought 2 samples of it. This is the one I've been hammering. Look at the colour of it. It's just absolutely amazing. And this is my backup. Now, just a quick word about the house. I bought these 2 samples. They weren't particularly expensive, and they came within about 3 days. But what they also came with was another sample, which I hadn't asked for a fragrance called Isara, which I hadn't tried, and it's absolutely stunning. There will be another review of this coming up, because you need to hear about this one, guys. But also, what came with the samples was all this artwork, which is lovely. You know, some more there and some more there. And to top it all off, there's a handwritten note to me: "Dear Matt, hope you enjoy, thanks, blah, blah, blah." Really, really lovely touch. And bearing in mind, I'm only buying samples. And if you think this is, you know, we got any kind of special treatment, I don't think so. If the idea that Pisara has watched anything that we've put out on YouTube, I think is very unlikely. We're a very small channel, and we are not in any way, shape or form influencers that perfume houses want to send loads of stuff to. We're not that kind of channel, and there you go. So if you wanted to get the samples, have a look at Dusita's website and buy them directly from there. I think they ship worldwide, but there you go. So I'm going to spray a little bit more, not too much, because the opening on this is what I think people struggle with. I think it's quite amazing, but let's have a little spray if I can find the nozzle. There you go. So it comes out, it's not overly thick or resinous, the actual liquid itself, but it does come out, you know, and it is quite thick, but I've got, you know, fragrances that are a lot thicker. Now, the opening is amazing. A lot of people, and this is one of the reasons why we're doing this channel, is because I read so many reviews on Fragrantica and, you know, Base Notes and places like that, where people are kind of attacking a perfume or saying it's not to their taste, and then they do a massive disservice to the perfume by not describing it properly. People are saying that this smells of like horse poo or all the rest of it, and it's overly animalic, and the oud is a real fecal oud, it's a real barnyardy oud. It's not. When, you know, I've got quite a lot of oud that I swipe in the evening and I sit down with and enjoy it, and I'm getting used to, and I've been really exploring oud and finding, you know, all the different facets of it, and, you know, because it's such a variable medium, it changes from where oud is from, you know, from how it's distilled, from how it's made. It all has an effect on how oud smells. So, you know, oud is such a variable. It can never smell, you know, it very rarely smells the same. It can be used in so many different ways. And then for someone just to smell this and go, oh, it smells like crap, it does not. The oud is from Laos, which is where the most expensive oud, you know, that I've sort of looked up and researched, the most expensive ouds that I can find seem to come from Laos. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why this is so expensive. The ingredients, the materials that are being used are incredibly premium. What people are getting, they're getting this really animalic opening of rah, you know, and what that is, that's the Civic. This is a Civic bomb. If you don't like animalic Civic notes, you're going to hate this. If you love that kind of thing, you can tolerate that kind of thing, or you're interested in it, you need to smell this. This has got the strongest Civic note I've come across in anything. The oud supports the Civic. The rose is called, it's a rose de maille. Now, from what my research has told me, this is a hybrid rose that's been around for centuries. It's pretty much only used in perfumery. But the rose sits underneath these elements. The Civic is on the base, but it comes straight out of the top. It's overwhelming a little bit. When you first spray it, the first time you wear it, you're like, wow. Then the more you wear it, the more you'll get it. And then the more intoxicating, the more enticing, and the more addictive it becomes. You will not stop smelling your wrist. Once you're over the initial shock, it's gorgeous. There's orange blossom in here that just gives it a little bit of sweetness. Now, Rose de Maille is pretty much only used in perfumery. I don't think it's used in anything else, and it's almost got like a honey note to it, so you'll get a quite sweet, rich rose. You can actually close your eyes and see this beautiful crimson rose, you know, glistening in your head. It's literally quite stunning, but because it's kind of got this honeyed flavour to it, it's not jammy, it's not overly sweet, it's indulgent, it's rich, it's deep, it's intoxicating, but it's not saccharine-like, it's not overly sweet, it's not tangy, it's not, you know, if I love Maison Francis Kurkdjian's oud satin mood, and I love oud silk mood, but both the roses, or both the rose element in those two perfumes, which I do enjoy, are very sweet. And this has a sweetness to it, but it's not over the top. It's really, really good, but it always sits under this animalic note. Now, I don't think this perfume is as strong as people seem to think it is. It does perform very, very well, and it projects strongly to start off with. For the first hour or so, it has very strong projection. It has an amazing sillage. It's absolutely beautiful. But what happens is, as it starts to calm down, you'll get more floral-like notes will come out of this. There's no jasmine mentioned in here, but I think there's a real indolic sort of kind of slightly on the turn jasmine note that comes through to give it some lift. And once the Civic kind of calms down and sits back, this oud just gives it complex direction, and it gives it a base for it to kind of move around on, and the florals start to become more prominent. This is when I think everyone will like this. The first 2 hours are going to be a hard task for anyone who doesn't like an oudy fragrance, and certainly doesn't like animalic fragrances. They're not going to enjoy, excuse me, the first couple of hours of this. But as it dries down, it becomes warm, it becomes beautiful, it becomes floral. There's a sandalwood base to it, benzoin is there, and then a slight hint of vanilla comes through, but it's not a cake like vanilla, it's not a gourmandy sweet one, it just gives balance. There's a lot of very strong components to this perfume, and they're all kind of vying for attention, and they all actually individually do get their chance to shine. But you have such a complex and animalic assault as the perfume opens. That's going to scare people off. It's only when that kind of fades and calms down and the other sweeter, less challenging materials start to make an appearance that the perfume becomes very much one for pretty much everybody. But it takes a real kind of sort of someone with an interest in these very, very strong top notes and the very strong Civic at the base to appreciate this perfume. It's not going to be for everyone. If you love oud, if you love animalics, this is probably the pinnacle of this kind of perfume. It's a stunning, stunning fragrance. But because of the cost, it's not one I don't think I will ever be able to wear. The other thing is, it's certainly unisex. It leans neither masculine nor feminine. There's a lot of powerful notes here, obviously, but rose is kind of very dominant in this as well. And that always can take a perfume in either direction. So it could be a masculine one, it could be a feminine one, but I think this is totally unisex. I think you would struggle to wear this anywhere normal, or, you know, I wouldn't wear it to work. I wouldn't wear it to a restaurant to start off with. I would wear it if I was going out for a drink, no problem at all. I'd wear it amongst friends, or if I was having a party here, I would wear it, no problem at all. If I was going to a party, I would probably wear it as well, because the potent opening is the bit that people are going to struggle with. And once that opening is kind of subdued, then it's a perfectly normal fragrance. It can be worn anywhere, but you have to, I think you're going to have to expect a lot of questions asked of you in that first couple of hours. When that first couple of hours has passed, the perfume then continues on its long journey, and it's a lovely one, and you know it's not challenging particularly for anyone. But the first 2 hours are very, very animalic, and it is a very, very powerful fragrance in terms of how it delivers itself. So I really, really, really would love all of you that have an interest in this kind of perfume to get a sample and try it, because it's something special. I fully expect that I will be having more samples as time goes by when I get through these, because it's something I can't stop sniffing myself when I'm wearing it. I just love that note. It's just such a beautiful fragrance. But it's so cost prohibitive, I don't think I'll ever own a bottle, which is, you know, it's just one of those things I'm going to have to live with. But really, really, really worth exploring, especially if you like animalics. It's just, as I said earlier, it's like the pinnacle of that kind of perfume. I think this is a beautiful perfume, but it is, it has got its challenges, and obviously the cost is, it's a really, really expensive fragrance. So I think, cost prohibitive for me. Maybe not for you. If you've got the money and you want something like that, then go for it. But please, please sample it first. Anyway, listen, very quick review today. I'm about to run out the door. Well, I've got to have a shower first, obviously. Run out the door and go to work. So listen, have a great day, guys. We will see you soon. I hope you're keeping well. I hope everything's good in your lives, and I hope things aren't getting too bad and you're not going too mad. And we will see you on the next video. So listen, as always, thank you very much for your time. We shall see you soon. Take care and bye.